All right. Well, hello, everyone, and welcome to Birmingham Bible Church Winning Wednesday. We are so glad to see you here on today. Good afternoon to all of you who are watching on Facebook, on YouTube, on Instagram, on Twitter, and to our One Place family. Thank you for joining us here on today. We are here in Birmingham. It is 12 noon Wednesday, and so we are excited about you joining us on today. This is the time that we like to give you great topics to help you to be a winner and to let you know that you are victorious. And so we like to bring time during this time, bring you some information to empower you and to encourage you and to help you walk in your victory. So it's going to be some great information shared on today. I am super excited. So do us a favor, tag 3 people in the comment section. Make sure you text 5 people about the broadcast on today. And listen, make sure you share it on your pages. You know, we're good at sharing stuff. So this is some good information to share. We are about to have victory in our health. And so a few days ago on Monday, most of us celebrated relationships. I went in Publix, and I'm talking about the front of the store was filled with flowers and candy and stuffed animals because it was Valentine's Day. Yes, here in Birmingham, we were booed up. And so I'm pretty sure y'all were booed up wherever y'all were as well. And so we celebrated those people that we love, even if it was our children or our parents, may not have been somebody that we're in love with. But that is all well and good. But this month is also American Heart Month. And so February is not just for lovers, February is also to help remind us to take care of our physical heart and to know our risk factors. And so we have someone here on today who is going to help us take care of our physical heart. And I'm super excited. We have a cardiologist here from Grandview. His name is Dr. Jimmie Dotson. He is an interventional cardiologist, and I'm going to let him explain what that is when he comes on. But just a little bit about him. He received his medical degree from the University of Tennessee College of Medicine in Memphis. I believe he completed his residency with the University of Tennessee Internal Medicine, did his residency, did I think it's cardiology or cardiology fellowship at the University of Mississippi. He has, and I remember this from a conversation we had, he sees patients here in Hoover and also in Sylacauga, which if those of you who live in Birmingham are familiar, is straight out 280. But so far, I mean, we've had a couple of conversations. He's been great. He's been just wonderful about the communication. And so I want to welcome you guys on today, Dr. Jimmie Dotson. Hello, Dr. Dotson. How are you?
Hi, how are you? Good afternoon.
Good, good. I hope I did that introduction some justice. So tell me, what is an interventional cardiologist? What is
So
that?
interventional cardiologists put, like if you're having a heart attack, put stents in the arteries that supply your heart muscle, also put stents in the arteries that supply your brain, and do a lot of lower extremity disease if you have blockages in the arteries of your legs.
Okay, wow. Okay, well, before we get started with our questions, what interested you in cardiology? Because to me, that is the most complicated to me of all doctors, because something go wrong and, it's not going to be good. Tell us what interested you in doing your residency or in cardiology?
So I really want to make sure that I give back to the community and what I was passionate in. And so my mother, she also suffered from heart disease along with my grandmother and grandfather. He had a massive heart attack. So it's just a true passion that I have. Not only do I like to fix things, but I also, like to preventative cardiology also.
Okay, awesome, awesome. And there you go. I couldn't see you. There we go. All right, we got taken care of. Okay, awesome. So let me ask you, so for somebody who's watching on today, what is, with it being American Heart Month, what is heart disease?
So heart disease can involve several things. You can have what we call ischemic heart disease. That's when you have a blockage in one of the arteries that feeds your heart muscle. You also can have valvular heart disease. That can be things like aortic stenosis or mitral stenosis, where the valves are not opening well. Or you also can have what we call valvular regurgitation, where you have a leaky heart valve that needs replaced. You can have congenital heart disease, things like bicuspid aortic valve. We normally screen those patients early. Also, you can have pericardial disease that involves the sac around the heart. And also, you can have things like AFib and A-flutter. That's when your heart is out of rhythm. And sometimes that can cause you to have congestive heart failure or a lot of palpitations.
And that's what I was looking at when I was, just looking at different articles. There is so much when it comes to the heart. So much. I mean, you just named about 7, 8 different things. But let me ask you specifically, what is the coronary artery disease?
So that involves the three major epicardial arteries, and it's mainly blockage caused by diabetes, high blood pressure. Of course, you can't control your genetics.
Right.
Some people just have a genetic predisposition, high cholesterol. smoking. Those are the major risk factors for coronary artery disease.
Okay. So and is that does it have to do with buildup of cholesterol in the arteries? Is that what when you
It's a built up of plaque.
plaque?
And so
Okay.
the high blood pressure can damage what we call the lining of the walls of the arteries.
Mm.
The diabetes, if it's uncontrolled, if your hemoglobin A1C is not less than 7, that can get into the artery walls itself and cause plaque. Definitely cholesterol. You need to know your numbers, your LDL. Smoking damage the endothelium, also the lining of the heart arteries. So all those things contribute.
Okay. Now, if I'm someone that, I have something going on with me, but I don't know what it is. Tell me what the symptoms are of someone who may have, some type of heart disease. What's the first thing besides the numbers? Is there anything physical that could be going on
Yeah,
with me?
absolutely. So, the first thing as a physician or any healthcare provider, you want to listen to the patient because, patients don't read the book. So I have had patients just fatigue, generalized fatigue.
Mhm.
That could be your chest pain, shortness of breath when you exert yourself. If you have any type of jaw pain or when you do physical things, you're wiped out. All those can be symptoms of heart disease.
Okay. Short of breath, I guess, because if you're tired, then you're possibly short of breath at times.
Right. So
Okay.
shortness of breath when you exert yourself. A lot of women that I have like fatigue and jaw pain. Those could be signs that something's going on.
Okay. And let's talk about that when you said women, because years ago, I read something one time where a woman was having just some back pain, and come to find out she had a heart attack or was having a heart attack. What are some of the symptoms of a heart attack or that someone has had one?
So most of the time when I see patients in the hospital, definitely chest pain, breaking out in a sweat for no reason at all, shortness of breath, jaw pain, left arm pain.
Mm.
You can even have what we call syncope. That just means you black out all of a sudden. Your heart can go out of rhythm and you don't get enough blood flow to your brain. So all those things are symptoms that something could be going on with your heart.
Okay. And let's talk a little bit about peripheral arterial disease. That's another one I believe that's common. What exactly is that?
So peripheral arterial disease, better known as PAD, mainly those are obstruction of the arteries outside of the heart. And for me, most of the time, that involves the arteries of the lower extremities. So I'm sure a lot of people have seen people with what we call amputations of toes and
Mhm.
below the knee amputations above the knee. So if you're not getting enough blood flow, that can cause you to have an amputation. But it's 2022, and nobody should be getting an amputation
Mhm.
now. We have better devices and better equipment. I mean, we can go in without doing any type of major surgery and open up your arteries to help your wound heal.
Hmm.
So if somebody recommends an amputation the first time they see you without doing a vascular workup, something's wrong.
Okay. Okay. Um, and then what about chronic heart failure? What is that?
So you have two types of heart failure. You have systolic heart failure and diastolic heart failure. So the normal squeeze of the heart is 50 to 65%. You don't eject all the blood at once. So you can have heart disease where your heart muscle doesn't squeeze as good. That's called systolic heart failure. And you also can have diastolic heart failure. That just means your heart muscle doesn't relax as good. And so as the population ages, that's seen in about 50% of older population now.
Wow. Okay. And then when we talk about heart disease, what groups of people are mostly affected?
So definitely diabetics, always going to be a high risk category. Anybody that smokes, high blood pressure, genetics with high blood pressure that's uncontrolled. Because if you don't control your blood pressure, your heart, just like a muscle, how you build your bicep, your
Mhm.
heart muscle will get thick. And then after a while, if your blood pressure not down, it's not going to squeeze as good. So all those are risk factors. That's why when you see your primary doctor, you need to know your numbers and take charge of your health and just know what's going on with your body.
Mhm. What about what about minorities? Is there, of course, we're here in Birmingham, and it seems like everything is kind of leaning towards African Americans or African American men. Is there a certain population that's mostly affected with heart disease?
So definitely, I mean, you just have to see your doctor at least
Gotcha.
once a year if you're middle age.
Mm-hmm.
You have to control your risk factors. I mean, you have to take control of your health. I mean, that's modifying your diet, exercise. And most
Right.
elderly people that I take care of, 90s and still getting around good, they do
Wow.
something every day. I mean, like 30 minutes. I mean, you don't have to go to the gym and
Right.
kill yourself. Just get your body moving and doing something. I mean, those are the main things that you can do. And if you have diseases, know your numbers, check your blood pressure 1 or 2 times a day, know your A1C if you have diabetes, know your cholesterol. I mean, that shows the physician that you're interested.
Yep.
Um, you should be able to talk to your physician. If it's a lack of communication, I recommend you see somebody else. If they don't want to talk to you, I think you should see somebody else. It's a relationship. Patients are paying us to provide a certain level of care. I mean, and so I just think it's a two-way street. You have to do your thing. And for medicine making you sick or you're not taking your medication, you should be able to tell your physician that.
Right. Right. And also, it's good to take someone to the doctor with you because, sometimes I know when I get in there with a physician, I'm like, I don't understand what he just said. I said, can you say that again in layman's terms? And so sometimes if you have somebody else with you, y'all can both kind of understand and be on the same page. But you said something that was so powerful. I think we've been saying it every time we have a physician on here about something is know your numbers.
That's
You
right.
need to know where you are. You need to know your blood pressure numbers, your blood sugar numbers. Like you said, getting those cholesterol numbers, getting that physical once a year. And then if numbers seem out of whack, then you need, at least with my physician, if something is off, they'll say, okay, let's do this and then come back in a couple of months. But you're right, it should be a steady flow of communication. And so that is very important.
That's
And
right.
I think, was there something else?
And I
Uh,
just think you you
yes.
you have, you have to look at the long term. You might not be having symptoms, but over
Right.
time, I mean, you're going to start having problems. And like I said, if you feel uncomfortable with your physician, you should be able to,
Mm-hmm.
move on or talk to them. And
Mm-hmm.
you definitely just should know what's going on with your body. You
Mm-hmm.
shouldn't go home and be like, well, I don't know what the doctor said. He told me to take, or she told me to take a certain pill.
Right. And something else that you says is so important too is exercising. If you know that heart disease or any of these things run in your family, because that's a risk factor too. If it runs in your family, then you really need to keep an eye on things probably sooner, probably more than once a year. You may have to go a little bit more often. And so people, don't be afraid to go to the doctor. Prevention, was it early prevention is key? Is that the
That's
same?
right.
Yes, right.
That's right.
Early prevention is key. Well, thank you so much, Dr. Dotson. I had a couple of the questions. One was, if I'm experiencing some things, normally you go in, what kind of tests can I expect so they can get to the root of what's going on?
So when you're a patient coming to a physician, you need to go over everything what's going on with you.
Mhm.
If you're short of breath, the physician needs to listen
Mhm.
because that's going to dictate what we do next. Once we do that, we do a good physical exam, and
Mhm.
we'll get a screening EKG. Like so, sometimes if a construction worker like having chest pain when he exerts himself, I skip the test. I mean, because he's telling you something's going on, we just go straight for a coronary angiogram, especially if they're a diabetic or smoke, and the EKG that we do, the 12 lead EKG has high risk findings. We'll go straight to a coronary angiogram. But if you're like an intermediate patient or low risk, we do treadmill stress tests. We do coronary calcium scoring, echocardiograms to look for structural or valvular heart disease. So those are some of the things that we do.
Okay, awesome. And then let me ask you, because you say you put in stents. Is there just too many stents to put in? I mean, what's the top number of stents you've ever put like in one person at one time?
So I never put that many stents, you know. I
Okay.
mean, you have to do what's best for the patient. I have
Okay.
seen when I was training up to 36 stents
Oh,
in a
wow.
patient. And so they kept coming back maybe once a month just to angioplasty. I mean, when it gets to that point, you know, you have to start thinking about other options, maybe
Right.
bypass surgery, you know, but you're doing bypass surgery and that decreases your chance for what we call going back in revascularization.
Okay.
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 I mean, you got some greedy doctors out there too.
Mm-hmm. I was thinking that, and I was like, because when you go in there, it's like, especially, y'all know the language, but we don't know the language, and so you're right to always get that second opinion, especially if
Absolutely.
you don't feel like something is right.
That's
Um,
right.
and then I think my last question, I know it probably depends on the person, but after someone has had a procedure, um, I used to be a therapist, and so we always did cardiac rehabilitation. What is that like generally for just a heart patient in general?
Yeah, so that's what we call a class 1 guideline. That is definitely recommended by our cardiology association. And so cardiac rehab involves treadmill, but they're monitoring your heart, because the last thing you want to do after a heart attack is go out and exercise, or if you're newly diagnosed with heart failure, go in a fatal arrhythmia. So
Right.
they monitor your heart. You do training on a treadmill or exercise bike, light weights. And so the first 4 weeks are very critical after you've been diagnosed with a heart attack or have coronary disease, just so somebody can monitor you and get you back to your physical health.
Okay, good. And so that's very important. Of course, it's not to have the procedure and then sit down,
That's right.
for eight
Yeah,
hours or whatever. You have to get
yeah,
back up and moving.
yeah.
Gotcha. Okay. Well, this has been very helpful, Dr. Dotson. I'm going to just give our viewers a few announcements, but after I get through, I would love for you to tell people how they can set up an appointment with you at either one of your locations. Is that cool?
That's fine.
Okay. All right. Okay. We're going to go just a second to here. All right. Well, everyone, of course, this is our second month in this brand new year, 2022. And this is our theme for the year. It is the year of new beginnings. So make sure you keep that to the forefront of your mind, that God is going to create some new things in your life. Please join us on Sunday for our spiritual renewal sermon series. Of course, you can watch us on YouTube, on Facebook, on Twitter, and on Instagram. We will see you Sunday at 11 o'clock a.m. Central Standard Time. Our book for the month is Do It for a Day: How to Make and Break Habits in 30 Days. And so this is a great book. Remember, make sure you download it on your Audible, or make sure you order from your favorite bookstore. Then, of course, if you have not received your contribution statement, don't forget, those were emailed out to you. If you did not receive it and you need to update your email address, please send us an email at ladypam@tcowi.org. And you just heard today from Dr. Jimmie Dotson, Interventional Cardiologist. So we'll see y'all next week. We're going to end this month off with some Black history facts. And so we have Dr. Robert Weems of Wichita State University. He's going to talk to us about the decline of capitalism, whatever happened to Black capitalism. So he's going to give us some Black history facts next Wednesday at the same time, 12 noon. If you would desire to have more great preaching and teaching from Pastor Mason, please go to oneplace.com and do a search for Dr. James H. Mason III. He's also on podcast. So if you go to our website at bhambc.org and scroll all the way to the bottom, you will see the 6 different podcasts that he has listed. So you can also listen to him on the go as well. Thank y'all for joining us every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday for our prayer room call at 6 a.m. That number is 727-731-0433. We will see you every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 6 a.m. That number again is 727-731-0433. And then we will see you on Tuesdays at 11 o'clock a.m. Central Standard Time. A study in the scriptures go forth during that time. It's okay if you miss it. You can always go back and watch it on our Facebook page and on our YouTube page as well. But it's every Tuesday at 11. We are walking through the book of James. Saturday, we are having our virtual hangout. We have our small group. It is a private page. So if you have not joined before and you would love to join, please send us an email at smallgroups@bhambc.org. We are studying how to be transformed in this new year. Great time we're having every Saturday at 10 a.m. And then, as I mentioned before, you can see us on YouTube, on Facebook, on Twitter, and on Instagram, and through the My Sunday app. If you need to know how to download it, go to your app store, download My Sunday, which is one word, and locate Birmingham Bible Church. You can, of course, look at all the events. You can look at everything that's going on with Birmingham Bible Church, and you can also watch any videos that have gone forth during that time. To receive text messages, please text BBCWW to 94253. Text BBCWW to 94253. Then for those of you who are business owners and you want to grow your business, we have a business directory on our website, bhambc.org. All you have to do to locate it is once you get on our website, you will scroll about midway, locate business directory. You'll click on that and then you can key your information in. Anybody is allowed to be a part of this, and you're not only a part of our website, but also a part of a 50,000 plus Christian database. So anybody can locate you from wherever they are. And then don't forget our Black History Tour. We are going to the Lorraine Motel the very last Saturday of this month, February 26th. Of course, you're going to be responsible for your own transportation. Please send us an email if you desire to go. Spots are filling up fast. We have over 30 people that are going. And so we're excited. That email address is bbctravel@bhambc.org. That's bbctravel@bhambc.org. Listen, you got to register by the 18th. Okay, that's Friday at 5 p.m. I'm going to say it again. Register by the 18th by 5 p.m. We would love to see y'all with us. And then we're going to have a virtual college tour, our very first one, doing out of the box things. I want to get you guys interested in certain colleges. Maybe you have questions. Well, we got some people that's going to answer those questions. That's going to be Saturday, March the 19th. Put that on your calendar at 10 a.m. No need to register for that. It's going to be shown on all of our social media pages. And thank you so much for those who contribute to Birmingham Bible Church. There are various ways you can give. You can give via Givelify. Do a search for Birmingham Bible Church and give that way. You can mail your contributions in at P.O. Box 360321, Birmingham, Alabama 35236, and you can give via text 205-289-1938. You simply put a $, the amount you want to give, If it's your first time doing so, you can simply fill out a registration form. And then from that point on, it's easy. It is $ and the amount you want to give. And then we also have Cash App, which is bhambc.org. Thank you so much, guys, for your donations to I-12 Compassion International Children. Your gifts go towards their food, their medical supplies, their emotional needs, their educational needs, and their physical growth. And your monies also go towards our land, our future. Thank you so much, guys, for giving sacrificially toward this. And thank you for joining us today. And so, Dr. Dotson, we would love to see how we can locate you in the Trace Crossings area or the Sylacauga area. How can we contact you?
And so the office number is 205-971-7500. And I'm mainly at Grandview. It's on 280 now in Sylacauga.
Okay, awesome. Okay, that is great. So that number again is 205-971-7500. So listen, guys, if you want a second opinion, you having some issues, please make sure you contact Dr. Jimmie Dotson. Thank you so much for you sharing your time. I know you're busy. I see you with your scrubs and your surgical outfit on. And so you jumping in and out. You're like Superman. So thank you for educating us on different things. We really appreciate this.
All right. Thank you, Ms. Pam.
Yes, sir. You have a great rest of your week.
You too now. Bye-bye.
All right. Bye-bye.